It's the professional Masterchef quarter-final. These 6 talented chefs stood out in their heats. Tonight, they have 2 more challenges to overcome.
I woke up this morning like, wow, is this real, you know? I knew it was always going to be tough, but it's a lot tougher than I did imagine.
Going home is unthinkable at this stage.
First, they face a reinvention test.
I think that is a triumph.
Those that impress get to cook for some of the country's most discerning food critics.
It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
Only the best will make it through to knockout week.
They're going to have to fight it out. I want to be blown away today.
We're about to push them to another level. Welcome back, chefs, and congratulations for making it to your quarterfinal. This is your reinvention test. Marcus and I would like you to reinvent the classic British fruit crumble.
We all know what a crumble is, and we all know what a good one tastes like. But today you're going to be taking it to a new level. Behind us, we have all the ingredients for you to choose from to make us a stunning dessert. Remember, this is a quarter-final. And at the end of this, 2 of you are going to be leaving the competition. 10 minutes to plan your dish, 90 minutes to cook and serve. Come up and choose your ingredients.
I'm excited. Obviously, I've had a lot of crumbles in my time, so hopefully can just elevate it to the next level.
A lot simpler than I thought it was going to be, but there's a lot of time, so the judges are expecting something pretty spectacular.
I've just got to be careful here and make sure that I don't get myself too complicated, basically.
Chefs, that is it. Your 10 minutes is up. Your 90 minutes to give us that amazing dessert starts now.
This is a reinvention of something that we have loved in this country for many, many years. I'm really excited about what our chefs are going to do today.
I want them to really elevate their cooking and show off their skills, because this is where it counts.
I thought I always was quite a good inventive chef, but after my comments on my signature dish, I'm just definitely going to just pull it back a bit. I've got technique, I've got the ability to do it, I just have to try and rein in all my experience and not try and put it on the same plate.
Gary, how are you going to reinvent the fruit crumble?
I'm going to do a crumble tart, so we're going to do some caramelised cherries. We're going to do an oatmeal crumble. And I'm doing a chocolate and mascarpone ice cream.
Sounds delicious. Gary, is this on your curriculum of educating the future chefs?
No, but I wish it was, and it soon will be. The whole point of me being here is just to evolve myself and then hopefully take that back to the future of our industry. So, you know, that's why I'm here.
Mascarpone chocolate ice cream with cherries and that lovely pastry. He is being inventive, he's definitely being creative, and I can't wait to see what he delivers. Matei, our 38-year-old head chef, originally from Romania, had a terrible skills test, but then came fighting back in the signature round.
I'm really excited to show them what I can do more, and I hope I can impress them with my future dishes.
fruit crumble. Do you have an equivalent of that in Romania?
Have sort of pies, which we're doing in a similar style.
What's your dish got, Mate, that's going to stand out from everybody else's?
I want to make a rhubarb and ginger sorbet. Will be rhubarb and apple fillings and a bit almond crumb, and I'll do a chilled chocolate custard.
And how do you feel about this challenge? Does it excite you? Does it worry you?
I'll be confident more and more and more I'm developing the dish, so I'm pretty sure I can deliver quite nice crumble.
Your rhubarb ginger brioche, chocolate custard, and then the fabulous sorbet to sit on the side, finished with a little almond crumb.
This is a new one. I've not had all these things together as a crumble, so I'm intrigued to see the balance of the cold and the hot and the sweetness and a watery sorbet as well, how it's all going to work. Chefs, you've had 45 minutes. You're halfway. I love the passion and the drive that Rosanna has. She is very nervy, but once Rosanna has settled, we know what this young chef can achieve.
I'm up against people who've been in the industry probably a bit longer than I have, but hopefully I can keep up with them. I'm going to do a pastry base, and then I'm going to fill that with loads of different elements. So I'm going to do a set vanilla custard, I'm going to do some poached apple balls, make a Calvados and apple puree, top it with a little bit of nutty oaty crumble on the top with demerara sugar.
So pastry is a strong point for you?
Yeah, I really love pastry. Apple crumble is something I've grown up with. We've had apples in the garden. We used to spend time sort of peeling them all down, stewing them down and chucking them in the freezer, so this is sort of the flavours that I know.
Expectations for a great apple crumble. It's just gone a little bit higher there, Rosanna. What we're going to have from Rosanna is a set, so custard tart, the lovely caramelised apple puree, and then she's got the crumble over the top. Something simply presented like that could work, and it's all going to be in the intense flavours of the apple, the caramel, if the custard is set well, and a wonderfully cooked pastry case.
In the army, you know, every day is different. You know, you're not stuck with the same menu day in, day out. Try to be creative as much as possible, you know, so that the officers or the soldiers are getting a variety of food. Hopefully that'll help in the next round.
Graham, you must have made a few crumbles before cooking for the soldiers.
Yeah, when you're out in the field, it's a favourite for the guys.
So what's your crumble going to be today?
Today I'm going to do a take on a rhubarb crumble. My granny used to grow it, so for me I love it. I'm going to do a vanilla white chocolate like parfait with a rhubarb and ginger jelly, with a rhubarb tatin and some crumble as well in there with some cardamom, pecan and walnuts.
Interesting, so I can't picture how this is going to look on the plate. Do you know how it's going to look on the plate yet?
In my head it's looking all right at the minute, but hopefully it'll go up looking like it is in my head. We'll see.
What concerns me about Graham's plate is that it's got different elements. He's got a rhubarb parfait, rhubarb jelly. He's also got a tarte tatin. This sounds like a dish of two desserts.
I'm curious how this is going to look because it sounds like lots of separate little elements.
Chefs, you've got 30 minutes left. 30.
Cooking-wise, I've had ups and downs. I haven't been cooking to the best of my ability, but there's still a little bit of time left to prove myself, so yeah, hopefully it'll work out well.
Mark, tell me, what's your reinvention going to be?
Caramelised banana crumble. It's going to be served with pecans, puff pastries being pressed down as the base, roast banana and brandy puree, white chocolate, and a little muscovado creme anglaise on the side.
What does it mean to you to get through this challenge into the next round?
I closed my restaurant to do this. Financially, it's not the best move. I've got a wife, kids, mortgage, so You know, it means a lot to me.
Wow, you closed your restaurant?
I'm the only chef in there, so my wife does the front of house, I do the kitchen side. No one's ever even worked in a kitchen apart from me.
So you really have put everything on the line here.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Mark is going to put this dish together, but I do love the sounds of the ingredients that he's used.
Caramelised pecans, you've got roasted banana and brandy. I love the sound of this dish, it sounds fantastic. Chefs, you've got 15 minutes to go. 15.
I think the judges think I'm a little bit contemporary, a little bit different. Greg described me as a borderline genius, and Marcus described me as a borderline maniac. So, you know, there's a fine line between the two. My take on the crumble is poached pineapple, which I've dipped in sugar and then caramelised with a blowtorch. Same with the mango, caramel twill with pistachio coconut crumble there.
But when you think of crumble, you think of hot, warm, winter comfort food. This sounds completely the opposite to what I think crumble is all about.
Absolutely.
Do you think being different is important?
But I think it is important for me at this stage in my career to push the boundaries a little bit more. I think it's fundamental in being a chef to do that.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Absolutely.
You never know until you try.
Until you try, exactly.
Rich likes to take inspiration from different countries, and that's what he's doing here.
You know, Rich, he's never going to just go down the straightforward path. He's going to push himself, and he's always going to deliver something different. And I can't picture what this dish is going to look like in my head.
Chefs, you've got 6 minutes left. Start to think about putting your dishes together. That is it. Time's up. Step back from your benches.
You all right?
Yeah, you.
Good. I'm glad.
Good luck, mate. Good luck.
For his reinvented fruit crumble, Matej has made poached apple and rhubarb, flavoured with stemmed ginger, on a puff pastry base. A crumble of toasted almonds and brioche, chocolate custard paint, and a rhubarb and ginger sorbet.
Matej, the apples they're rustic, but they're not overcooked, they're not undercooked. Balance of flavours work very well. I like the little almonds on the plate. I would say, though, that a good sauce anglaise, a good custard would be very nice just poured over this dish.
There's no bells and whistles about it. This is nothing that's really exciting about this dessert. But I do really like the sorbet.
Okay. Thank you. I'm feeling a bit disappointed and happy at the same time. I'm quite happy what I deliver. It's lots of pressure and you can't have everything perfect.
Rosanna has made a tart filled with a set custard, an apple poached in cinnamon and star anise, topped with caramelized apple and Calvados puree, crispy ginger, Adsina cress, and a crumble made from almonds and oats.
It's not perfect, but I actually quite like the rusticness of this.
I like the flavours of the apple and the caramel, and a bit of the custard helps it, because otherwise it would be a very dry dessert. I really like the bits of the ginger. But to find the apple is slightly undercooked for my liking. It's a nice dessert.
I like the apple, and I like the flavours of the spices that you've put through. They're beautifully well balanced, they're not overpowering. I think it's very clever, because you've given me everything that a crumble is all about in a tart case, and delivered it very well.
Yeah, I feel really good, yeah. Monica didn't quite like it as much as Marcus did, but yeah, I feel pleased with what I've done.
Rich has served caramelized pineapple and mango puree, mango jelly, pistachio and coconut crumble, torched tonka bean and mango ice cream, and a pistachio tweel.
Have you glazed your ice cream?
I have, yeah.
You blow-torched ice cream?
Blowtorch the ice cream before putting it in the freezer.
Wow, well.
I think I've just about seen everything blowtorched now. It's nice to eat, but I think you've strayed a bit too far from what we're wanting. Yes, you've got a crumble on here and you've got fruit, but it's just a sort of fruity dessert rather than an actual crumble.
It is pleasant to eat because the flavours, the combinations, the balance of fruit, and of course the ice cream. But it doesn't, for me, fit the brief enough. I just think the crumble could have just been maybe a little bit bigger, a bit chunkier.
Okay. Not great, if I'm being honest with you. Took the risk on doing what, you know, I do. It reflected my personality. Yeah, I don't think it's paid off.
Mark has chosen bananas for his crumble. He served a crispy puff pastry base topped with caramelized and raw banana, a roasted banana and brandy puree, sweet and salted pecans, a white chocolate crumb, and sugar tweel, finished with muscovado custard.
I think it's absolutely sensational, Mark. I really do. I think that is a triumph and a celebration of what a Great British Crumble is all about. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant in texture, in flavour, the sweetness of sugar, the sweetness of the bananas, and just that little element of sea salt that you've really cleverly just put in there. Such a delicate hand is great. You should be very pleased.
Thank you, I am absolutely over the moon. I may not show it, but yeah, I am.
Well done, you.
I really like the flavours of the banana with the pecan and then the hints of the white chocolate. That wonderful puree you made is what I would like more of because you took a lot of time to really roast that banana down. I think it's a nice dessert, Mark.
Thank you.
You look like you going to cry.
No, I'm not. I'm good. I'm pleased. Yeah, really pleased. It was great feedback. I couldn't have asked for better, to be honest. Thanks.
Graham's take on a rhubarb crumble is a mini rhubarb and ginger tarte tatin, poached rhubarb, cardamom nut crumble, rhubarb and ginger jelly, and a vanilla and white chocolate parfait.
It looks a bit messy. It looks like it was rushed.
The first thing that really just come out here is the pastry that's not cooked. You can see it there. The rhubarb's beautifully cooked, and the gel on the plate has a really nice balance of acid to it. I like your ideas, I just don't think that you've executed them well enough, unfortunately.
The tatin for me is not a tatin. It's raw pastry with a bit of rhubarb on top. You have the elements of the rhubarb and the crumble here, which I do like. I think maybe if you had focused on those things and your custard and not try and bring other sort of dessert elements onto here, it would have been a better plate of food.
Chef.
Yeah, I could have done a lot better, but it's the nature of the game and I have to take it on the chin.
Finally, it's Gary with his cherry crumble tart. A sweet pastry case filled with mascarpone cream and a honey, oatmeal and hazelnut crumble, topped with cherries glazed in kirsch. With caramelized cherries, chocolate crisps, and a chocolate and mascarpone ice cream.
Gary, this looks a great dessert. I love the colours. It looks wonderful.
Thank you.
When you cut through the cherries, you've got the sweetness and the sharpness of what you marinated them in. And then you've got the crumble underneath, and it's only just starting to soak up the juices of the cherries, and then a crispy pastry to go with it, and it just rounds it off. I think it's an accomplished dessert.
Actually, the tart itself is fantastic. Beautifully trimmed up tart case, which I would expect from a lecturer. I like the flavours, I like the textures, I love the chocolate ice cream and the shards that you've got in there. Great ideas. There's a lot of skill in this dish. It's a really good job.
Thank you. I just stuck to what I know works. I didn't try and reinvent the wheel, I just reinvented a crumble.
Nailed that one.
What a great day in the kitchen today. Tough challenge.
I think we both agree there are two chefs that cooked equally well, and they are Mark and Gary.
I thought Mark's take on the banana crumble was outstanding. Just absolutely took it to a brand new level. Gary's cherry tart I thought was great. So for me, Gary and Mark absolutely sailed through today.
Graham's take on the crumble was about rhubarb, and I liked the flavours. The big problem on Graham's dessert was that tartare, the pastry was raw.
All the elements of the crumble were on the plate, they just weren't executed well enough. Mate, I quite liked his idea. I just felt this dish was crying out for another element, maybe a sauce.
The dessert for me was just too simple. There was nothing to write home about. It wasn't my favourite dessert of the day.
I thought Rosanna did a great job today. Her crumble captured all the flavours and essence of what a crumble should be, and I really enjoyed it.
If Rosanna takes on board what we've said to her today, this chef will continue to grow at a very rapid rate. I thought she did a great job. Richard's dessert was very hard to understand because these are not flavours that you would get when you're eating a crumble. But what was there of the crumble, I really enjoyed.
It tasted nice and there was lovely flavours and essences there, but I think of crumble, I go somewhere else, I don't go to the tropics, and that's my frustration with Rich's dish today.
To stay in this competition, this moment, I really wanted, but because, you know, it's every day it's different and you want more.
I'm feeling a bit disappointed in myself. I know I can do a lot better and just have to wait and see, but the rest of the guys are good, so if it's my time to go, it's time to go.
I am starting to really enjoy myself, getting a bit more used to the kitchen. I've just got a taste for it and I want more.
I haven't done what I've come here to do yet, you know, beating myself up because I wanted the answers to be better, you know. But, yeah, we'll see.
We can only choose the stronger chefs to cook for our critics. Who are we going to take through? Chefs, welcome back. What a great cook-off today. But we are going to have to lose two of you.
The first chef that is leaving us is Graham.
Thank you, Graham.
The second chef leaving us today is Mate.
Being part of the Masterchef will be something to tell to my son when he'll be a bit bigger. And I'm really, really happy and proud.
I'm disappointed in myself because I know I can do a lot better. The rest of the guys, you know, what they put out was incredible, you know. Fair play to them and hope they can go on to do better.
Chefs, don't relax too much. Next round you're cooking for the critics. That's even harder. This is a colossal opportunity for you to cook for three of the country's top critics. We have Jay Rayner, Grace Dent, and Tracy McLeod. At the end of this, one of you is going to be leaving the competition.
2 courses, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Off you go.
Pretty daunting having the restaurant critics eating your food. So yeah, it's going to be wild, man. It really is.
It's very exciting cooking for the critics. Obviously, I'm only 21 and not many people get this chance, so I'm really looking forward to it.
So as a chef lecturer, I might not do that many services, but I've got 5 kids and I've got a service every single night, all of them eating something completely different. So I understand the pressure.
Gary, how are you feeling?
Good. A wee bit nervous, got a lot to do in such a small space of time.
And are you excited?
Excited, nervous, and a few others to add to that.
Gary, you don't do service every day in a conventional kitchen or restaurant kitchen, so
No.
How do you feel about this time constraints that you're under?
It's such a short period of time, and it's just really getting your head down, not going nuts on your menu, making sure that that actually works, make sure you've practiced.
And have you practiced?
Yes.
I'm really liking the sound of Gary's menu. Roe deer and an apple dessert. Gary's going to be pan-frying and roasting his roe deer. He's serving it with gaufrette potatoes or sliced potatoes, thinly crisps. Salsify, which is cooked in port and red wine. And then there are textures of cauliflower. Very earthy, very Scottish. Gary needs to pay special attention to the cooking of the roe deer. He needs to be very careful that he just gets a lovely caramelisation on the outside. You don't want it to scorch too much because there's no fat to protect it at all.
Gary's dessert is based on apples and he's going to make a sablé breton to go with it. Very buttery, very delicate biscuits. Apple puree, some compressed apples. He's got apple domes. Sounds like a very simple dessert, but knowing Gary, he's a very skilled chef, and I'm expecting a few twists in this dessert.
Hour and 15 minutes for 8 plates of food is a huge demand. I'll be whizzing around the kitchen like Speedy Gonzales with a major sweat on, no doubt.
How are you, Rich?
I'm good. I'm good today.
What are you cooking for our critics?
I'm doing a black Asian rice risotto with pickled nashi pear, 5-spiced smoked salt duck breast, and a mint and green tea glaze. And for dessert, I'm doing peanut butter white chocolate mousse with a banana and miso sorbet.
How do you think the critics are going to react to your food?
It's probably very different from what they're used to, but if I stop being who I am, then I'm just trying to get through, you know. I'd rather go out doing what I do.
I'm really glad, Richard, that you've still kept true to who you are as a chef. You're different, and you kind of push us to think outside the box. I hope this is going to work.
Thank you very much, guys.
He's pushing himself to the limit. I like that about Rich. A lot of combinations of ingredients that I've never, ever had together before. I'm interested, I'm nervous, and I'm sort of excited at the same time.
When it works, we're both very happy. I just hope Rich has not pushed it too far with our critics today.
I think being a chef has made me a stronger person. You have to put up with a lot sometimes, and you have to work very long hours, but you just have to get stuck in and sort of be one of the lads sometimes and just go with the flow. So I'm cooking halibut with clams, pickled cucumbers, a nice clam sauce with ginger, lemongrass, finished with a bit of lime and creme fraiche.
That sounds delicious, and a bit of work to do as well.
Yeah, just a little bit.
And what's for dessert?
I'm going to do raspberries with lemon curd. Going to do a crumble again, and then might do a little bit of Italian meringue on there as well.
Might?
Yes, if I get time, hopefully.
How do you feel cooking for the critics?
I'm extremely nervous, but I feel so lucky to be here. You know, I'm having an amazing time, and I just want the competition to keep going.
Just imagine it's your mum and dad out there, OK? You're just cooking for your family.
Yeah.
Don't think about them as critics.
Yeah.
Just customers.
That's what I'm trying.
This main course is something that I want to eat. I hear the ingredients and how this dish is being prepared, and I'd like to order this straight away.
The skill here is in the balance of the quantity of ginger, the pickling, the cooking of the fish. The timing has got to be right.
For dessert, Rosanna is making us raspberries, lemon curd with a crumble. For me, that works. It sounds like a nice dessert. I hope it looks stunning.
The whole menu sounds delicious. It sounds light and fresh and vibrant. I just hope she can keep it together and deliver some great food.
You have 15 minutes before your first course is up.
Feeling a bit nervous about cooking for the restaurant critics. It does intimidate me a little bit, but you know, I've tried and tested dishes. So if they don't like it, that's okay because I've done my best. But I'm pretty confident in my dishes. I'm doing a steamed turbot with a little medley of sea vegetables, seaweed butter, clams, and some Granny Smith apple.
And dessert?
Raspberry, rose and meringue millefeuille, served with a little bit of basil and rosewater creme pat.
Quite a skillful dessert to do in such a short period of time.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it comes out, but I'm confident it should be okay.
You ready to meet the critics?
No, not ready, but give me 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Good luck.
Good luck.
I hope it's not actually 10 minutes, is it?
No.
No, good.
Mark is using a beautiful turbot for his main course, and he's going to steam it. For me, this is one of the best ways to cook this beautiful fish.
But the thing that's really interesting about Mark's dish is the apple puree. Now, I've never had an apple puree with a steamed piece of fish before. I'm intrigued to see whether or not this part of the dish works.
Mark's milfoy, he's making an Italian meringue, but he's also got the creme pat with rose water. Both things that can be very sweet.
Too much rose water in that creme patissier and this dish won't work. It will just completely overshadow the raspberries.
You've got 10 minutes until your first course is up.
Professional Masterchef has promoted a generation of chefs to work in the highest levels of the industry. It's also seen a number of people crash and burn, so the stakes are high. Just don't burn the stakes.
What I'm really looking for today is contestants who I hope to see in the final. Because if they are that sort of contestant, I'm the one who's going to benefit. I'm the one who's going to eat really well.
I think the challenge today would push even the calmest, most capable chef. I don't envy them.
Gary, you've got 4 minutes before you get to start plating your food. How are you doing?
Excellent.
Think we're going to be on time?
We're on time.
Gary's main is pan-seared loin of roe deer, raw, spiced and caramelised cauliflower, oats and nuts, salsify, blackberries, game chips, and roe deer sauce.
It's very come hither.
You've got 2 minutes.
The first hour has just absolutely disappeared.
I told you that.
In a heartbeat.
I'm going to start plating.
Yes.
Right, Gary, your time is up. So really start speeding up now.
Sauce.
Is that it?
Yes, that's good to go, yeah.
Off you go.
Hi there. What I've cooked for you this afternoon is a saddle of roe deer, caramelised cauliflower, some salsified cooked in port, brambles and pomme gaufrette, and a venison reduction.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy.
You know, this does look delicious. I'm dying to get stuck in at this cauliflower.
I think the venison actually is good. I love that roasted cauliflower.
All needed to be married and welded together by jus, and the jus just didn't have a depth and it didn't have oomph. And I'm a northern woman and I know about gravy.
I can see where he was striving towards, but it's not quite got there.
I like the cauliflower, I like the granola. He's got everything on the plate that you want with venison, and he's executed ingredients very, very well. I think that he was just slightly pushed to get them to the standard that I think he was looking for.
Solid cooking, presented well. It's a good dish from Gary.
How was that?
Scary.
15 minutes to go, Gary. You going to make it on time?
Yes.
Gary's dessert is Breton shortbread, apple puree, apple domes, compressed apple and creme.
The only thing here which piques my interest is the apple domes. I'm hoping that that's a bit more than making a puree and knocking out a biscuit.
Gary, you've got 2 minutes left.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be on time.
We are going to be on time.
How long are you going to be?
60 seconds.
Well done.
For dessert, we've got a Sablé Breton shortbread, caramelised apple, creme fraiche, apple puree and compressed apples.
Thank you. It's rather pretty. And I would say in terms of MasterChef Pro desserts, ticks a lot of boxes for being a proper piece of work. I want to see what happens when I get my spoon into that dome.
I really like that little caramelised dome. The shortbread biscuit is good. The contrast of those little raw dabs of apple and the caramelised centrepiece I thought was really nice.
The apple dome was the thing that made this dessert, because it gave you a really nice hit of sharp, sweet, all the good things.
You know, this is somebody who can definitely pull off an amazing dessert.
The Breton is beautifully cooked. It's nice and buttery and crumbly. Overall, I think the dessert is a pleasant dessert to eat.
It reminds me of holidays in Brittany when you've got these beautiful buttery biscuits. I think it's a good tasting dessert.
What an amazing experience. I knew it was going to be tough, but it's 100 times tougher than you actually think it is. Under the circumstances, I'm feeling pretty good what I've done.
Rich, you've got 2 minutes left for your main course.
Well, Rich has done something rather amazing here, which is list 3 things on his menu I've never eaten before. Sweet and sour mint duck, black rice risotto, he's charring feta and serving it with pear.
Ooh, he's pushing at the borders there, isn't he?
Rich, your time is now up.
What about the duck?
I'm going to slice it now, Chef.
Is it resting?
Yeah, it's just resting.
You're going to have to get this dish served to the critics soon, Rich. You're 8 minutes over already.
Rich, you're going to have to get everything on this plate.
Yes, Chef.
We will stop you at a certain point. That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
This is not for the dish, is it?
The syrup.
Or the oil.
Come on, quick.
So that's on. You've got to go. You are going to have to apologise, Rich.
Yes, Chef.
Stress.
Oof. Oh, boy.
Hi, guys. I'm so sorry I'm late. Okay. We have Asian black rice risotto with black garlic, a charred feta cheese, Asian-flavoured duck choux farce, duck breast, and compressed pickled nashi pear. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have to say, as a point of principle, what's with this plate? This is like a granny's lampshade from 1962.
I mean, it doesn't quite look like anything that we've had in the competition to date. It looks challenging and it looks good. Well, this is one of the weirdest plates of food I've eaten for a long time. Duck is sort of singing with 5 spice, and that with those little cubes of feta and the mint sauce works really well. But what doesn't work at all is this absolutely mystifying black rice risotto.
The one thing I can say in its favour is that the duck breast is accurately cooked. The rest of it fits under the column, what was he thinking?
I feel a lot more warm-hearted towards this. The risotto is one of those things that if it was served in a local takeaway, I would have vats of this sitting in my fridge and I would eat it greedily.
I think the rice was very clever. For me, it could do with another 2-3 more minutes, but this rice is always going to have a texture to it. I've quite enjoyed this, really enjoyed it.
I think it's absolutely delicious, weirdly delicious.
How was that?
Yeah.
You've got 15 minutes for your dessert, Rich. Are you going to be on time?
I am.
Rich's dessert, peanut, banana and miso. Only a fool doesn't like peanut and banana together. They make a wonderful sandwich. Where you're putting the miso in, to me, at the moment, is mystifying.
Rich, you've only got 2 minutes left. What have you got left to do?
Just put the spaghetti and the ice cream on.
What else is there?
That's it.
You're not going to blowtorch the ice cream?
No, not today. Okay. Hi guys, we have a peanut butter and white chocolate mousse, miso and caramelised banana sorbet, banana brulees, and a little oat peanut crumb underneath. Thank you.
I like that little miso ice cream, and I love the peanut running through that granola. There's lots of nice, enjoyable things here. It's probably not quite polished enough.
I don't think that you can fault him for ambition, but that doesn't often make a great plate.
It's a pile of creamy things, and not very distinct creamy things, lying on a pile of gravel.
Peanut mousse is nice and light. It just doesn't pack enough flavour of peanut that I was expecting. And the spaghetti honey is just a little bit of fun. I like the dish a lot. It just could have been executed a little bit better.
It doesn't look as good as it tastes.
This is actually the toughest thing I've ever had to do. I've cooked for hundreds of people. I've cooked for the Queen. No, nothing compares. Nothing compares at all.
Rosanna, you've got 4 minutes left. Is your dish going to be on time?
I might need a couple of minutes.
Rosanna's main is good taste in 4 ingredients: halibut, leeks, pickled cucumber and clams.
There's no place to hide. There's something about this that speaks to me of a woman who is very confident.
2 minutes left, Rosanna.
You all right?
Yeah, sorry, these pans are really slow. I'm just really nervous.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Take your time.
You're a couple of minutes over.
Yeah.
Rosanna, are we nearly there?
Yeah, done now.
So, raisins on and then sauce.
Yeah. Okay, so today you've got halibut with charred leeks, sea vegetables, clams, and some little golden raisins as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
It smells terrific, and also you can't see a single ingredient that doesn't seem to have a role to play.
She can really cook, you can tell. I hope it's as lovely when I dive in.
Everything works. The fish is absolutely perfect. There's the crunch of the bacon. The sauce from the clam jus is just a little bit funky and it tastes of clam. It's lovely. It's absolutely lovely. It really is.
You've got sharpness from the cucumber, you've got the salt from the samphire. Very simple, but hitting absolutely every note that you want to hear in the scale.
It's that magical thing that just food that just makes you happy and makes you a little bit giddy. And when you start to eat it, this smile starts to grow. That was wonderful.
I think the fish is so moist. The pickled cucumber's nice, the clams are nice and clean. I really like the dish.
I think Rosanna's done herself proud. She really ought to hold her head up high for that. You okay?
Yeah.
Can you keep this show on the road?
I hope so.
Give us a smile.
You going to be okay for dessert?
Yeah, I think so.
Rosanna's dessert, lemon, raspberry and crumble, troubles me slightly because this has got something creamy in a bowl with a bit of crumbled biscuit scribbled all over it. I hope it's much more than that.
Chin up. You've got 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
Is that the Italian meringue you're going for?
Yeah.
Rosanna, you've got 1 minute left. Try and get everything else together while you're waiting for your meringue. Right, Rosanna, your time is now up.
Yeah. So it's just the crumble and the meringue, and that's it. Okay. Not coming up? You're going to go with that?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Nearly done.
Okay, off you go. Thank you.
So you've got a lemon curd with fresh raspberries, freeze-dried raspberries, a raspberry jam syrup, and a nice nutty oaty crumble on the top. Okay.
There's not a huge amount of finesse in the way this is presented, but it does look as though it's going to taste good. I like the flavours of this. I mean, she's got an incredible crunch to that crumble, and the flavours are good, but it's a bit lacking in the technical department.
This is an assertive little bowl of pudding. It's not remotely forgettable. It really packs a punch.
It's a bowl of nice things, but it's not a proper dessert.
Rosanna's dessert isn't really cutting edge by any stretch of the imagination. But having said that, it actually is very refreshing, it's very light, the curd is beautiful and smooth. I like the dish, but I know that this dish has true potential to be even bigger than what it is.
So hard. So hard. Everything wasn't the best that I can do. Just with the time constraint, it was hard to get everything as I wanted it to.
Mark, that's your dessert. You've got 4 minutes for your main course. Are you ready?
I should be.
Mark's main, steamed turbot, clam, seaweed butter and Granny Smith apple. It reads like a dish cooked for somebody with very few of their own teeth.
It sounds rather unforgiving and rather unluxurious. Do you think he's got a thing against restaurant critics and he's trying to punish us?
Right, Mark, you've got 4 minutes to your main course. How are you looking?
I'm going to be a couple of minutes late. My fish is still in the steamer. Afternoon.
Hi.
I've served you today some steamed turbot, Granny Smith apple, some sea vegetables, seaweed butter, and oyster leaf.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It looks very good for me, which is not always what I'm looking for from a plate of food, believe it or not.
I'm a bit disappointed. My samphire is pretty twiggy, and there was parts of this that were quite bland.
I would like more of that seaweed butter, which is more of a sort of a hint than an actual kind of real presence on the plate.
I think this is an exceptionally grown-up piece of fish cookery. In fact, I'd say the only thing that's wrong with it is the size of it, that if it was smaller, the intensity of the flavours would just whack you between the eyes.
The flavours work, and I really like that little twist of the apple puree on the plate. Doesn't look great, but it tastes good.
What happened there?
Just had my timings way off.
Are you going to be okay for your dessert then?
Yep, should be okay for dessert.
Mark's dessert: raspberry millefeuille, rose, meringue, basil and almonds.
Without being too harsh, something that a really great amateur chef would bring out at a dinner party.
Mark, you've got 4 minutes left.
Yeah, so where's the rose water creme pat?
It's all in the centre, so you can't see it, so it's in between.
I'm so pleased you're not dressing this like you dress your main course.
I can do it if you want.
Done?
I'm done.
Off you go.
Thank you.
For dessert for you, a raspberry and rosewater millefeuille with meringue, some dehydrated rosemary, bit of basil and some shaved almonds on top.
Thank you. The thing that is troubling me about this is a lot of meringue and no cream to leaven it. It looks toothacheingly sweet. I'm hoping there's something in there to just mitigate that. If you ever wonder what a potpourri would taste like to eat, I don't know whether to eat this or put it on my bed to fragrance my pillows.
All this really tastes of is rosewater. It's not really very nice.
He's tried to, you know, make something that looks ambitious, but it really is actually inedible.
For me, it looks better than it tastes because it's just all sweetness of meringue. A millefeuille is about the creme pat element, and he couldn't make that. It's a more custard. He's assembled it nicely, but it's not the millefeuille that I wanted.
Then there's not a lot of custard or what should have been his creme pâtissier, which is such a shame.
That was tough. Time went very quickly. My whole strategy just went to pot. It was tough, yeah.
Great day in the kitchen today.
We really do have a job on our hands because we had 4 very good chefs in this kitchen.
I was pleasantly surprised by Gary's food today. Thought the roe deer was delicious, good presentation and a really good flavoured dish.
Gary's dessert was the best of all the chefs in this kitchen. It was simple, but it was done very well. I couldn't fault it.
I feel I'm developing as a chef, and every time I'm in that kitchen it feels a wee bit more like home. I definitely need to get a place in the next round.
I think Rich's main course was the best dish in the kitchen today. It was pushing boundaries. I know the rice was undercooked, but I was intrigued by the idea.
Rich's dessert didn't look great, it tasted better than it looked. The critics actually enjoyed being challenged by Rich's cooking today. And I'm really pleased for Rich, because that's what he wanted to prove at the end of the day, that he was going down the right path.
It's a scary, scary thing, because everyone wants to go through to the end, and someone does have to go, and none of the chefs in there deserve to go home today, but someone has to, and I hope it's not me.
Rosanna was without doubt feeling the pressure today in the kitchen, but I think she did herself proud.
For me, her main course was wonderful. She had the halibut, some ginger, the clams. When she's focused, she can cook. This main course was testimony to that. Her dessert was very simple, yet what she had on there was well made. It just wasn't exciting enough.
I'm not sure if I've done enough to keep myself in. It was an extremely difficult challenge, and yeah, I know there was mistakes there, so we'll see.
Mark's main course was very lovely, light, simple. My concern was when it came to plating up, he panicked, he rushed. I'd never seen Mark lose it like this before in the competition. Dessert looked better than it tasted.
Mark had a bit of a tough day today in the kitchen. I don't think it came together for him as well as he'd wished. He's a chef with creative ideas. I would like to see more of him. But the last 10 minutes of his main course today certainly wasn't worth watching.
I'm not too sure if I've done enough to keep myself in the competition. It's tough, you know, there's some good competition out there, so only time will tell.
We have valid reasons to take any one of these 4 chefs through to the next round.
It's actually quite sad to lose one of them.
Chefs, Marcus and I really had a tough time with the judging, and that's because you all did exceptionally well today.
Monica and I have made our decision. And the chef leaving the competition is Mark.
It was a tough challenge. Really just a little bit annoyed with myself. Probably nerves got to me. But at the end of the day, I guess it's a shame I've got to go home.
Congratulations, guys. You 3 are through to our final 12.
It's by far the toughest cooking day I've had in my life ever. And that's saying something considering how long I've been cooking.
Still don't think I've cooked to my potential yet in the competition. I'm over the moon, yeah, I'm absolutely elated. It's an amazing, amazing thing.
Final 12. What's going on? It's pretty much the most out there I've ever felt about anything. Yeah, I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing what happens next.
Next on Professional Masterchef, it's knockout week, and the best 12 chefs return.
This does not look like a kitchen that's about to start service.
As the battle for the title